Hey everybody, it's Ancient Metaler and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to react now to a song from 1984 off of an album by a band called Wasp. It was off their debut album, which I believe was also called Wasp. It's called Sleeping in the Fire, and for me it's one of the most, um, it's like an epic power metal ballad from 1984. It's one of the best rock metal ballads of the entire 80s, in my humble opinion. So it's my humble opinion, and I get to keep it, and I get to share it with you because that's why you came here. Is you want my opinion, and my opinion is this is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, metal ballad of the '80s. Okay, Wasp was a controversial band when they came out to the public in 1984. They'd been around the LA scene for quite a while. In fact, they go back, they go back way back to the early days. Back in the '70s, Blackie Lawless was playing in bands, and the rumor has it, I think Blackie may have started the rumor, that he's the one that did this for the first time in a rock band. Not this, but this, because this is what Gene Simmons does, right? Gene Simmons does this. Whereas Ronnie James Dio is credited, I think most people credit Ronnie James Dio with doing the devil horns in metal and introducing that. Now, there's a lot of controversy about who did it, right, and where it came from. But that's what I think, and that's what I'm sticking with. This came from Ronnie James Dio, and this is from traditionally it's Gene Simmons, right? Gene Simmons does with his tongue sticking out. But Blackie says he was doing it in the band in L.A. long before Gene did it, and Gene came to see them play and saw him do that, and then like the next night, Blackie went and saw Kiss playing, and Gene's up on stage doing this, and so Blackie has always claimed that he's the one that innovated that. I don't know, but anyway, they were in a movie. I can't remember what movie it was. Body Double, maybe Body Double, or the movie about the knife, the Jagged Edge. It's around that time period. So a movie like that, some movie like that. I think it might have been Body Double though. They go to a club, like a rock club in LA, and there's a band on stage playing, and it's Wasp. And so they were notorious for their stage show. It's just shock rock, a lot like, they took a lot of things from Kiss, they took a lot of things from Alice Cooper. Um, they would they would have like blow up a goat on stage. I think is one of the things that people claim they did. They blew up goats on stage, blew up dwarves, shot dwarves out of cannons. No, I think it's something else. But they did have like a dwarf executioner on stage, I think. Um, Guillotines and things like that. That cutting the heads off of really pretty girls and have blood squirt everywhere. Not really, right? But also they would on Blackie's outfit that he wore, he would have saw blades, like circular saw blades on his arms, like sticking out of his arm right here, and on his all over his body. He would have these circular saw blades. Well, they were actually circular saw blades, and like cut in half and mounted on foam or something and put on his sleeves. And he'd swing them around. He'd swing his arms around, and the guitar player, I think his name's Chris Holmes. I think it was Chris Holmes. Was scared to get close to Blackie while they were playing on stage because he'd get cut by these saw blades if Blackie was spun around too much. He'd like slice him open with one of them. Um, so yeah, they were highly controversial for that, for their shocking antics on stage, their satanic imagery, and which is ironic because Blackie Lawless is a born again Christian and now sings Christian oriented metal, and he has an album Golgotha. Unbelievably good song, Golgotha. Yeah, it's just amazing. So good on you, Blackie Lawless, for doing that. But I love the old music. too. So hey, whatever. Hellion. Yeah. So a lot of the songs on their first album were quite controversial. So, but they were also controversial because of one song that was apparently on their first album. But when I bought the first album, it wasn't on there. You couldn't get the song. It was banned. You could not get the song. It did not come on the album. And it took a long time before I actually got a copy of it. I mean, I'd heard about the song. You always heard about the song. Everybody said that they knew about the song, but I never actually heard the song until I got it like on a bootleg CD or something that I found a copy of the song. And the song is called Animal. Fuck Like a Beast. So I was going to do that song today, but I'm going to hold off on that one. There's another song on that first album that kicks major ass, and it's one of my favorite songs of the 80s. It's a song called I Wanna Be Somebody. And it's a great rock song, metal song. I wanna be somebody. And it's the kind of song, it's a power metal song, so it's got a hook and people can sing to it, and everybody does. When you hear it live, everybody sings along to it. But this whole album, I just listened to the album again a few minutes ago as I was doing my evening walk, and I was like, wow, every single song on this album is great. And I talk about the fact that there are very few albums where I think every single song is great. AC/DC Back in Black, AC/DC Highway to Hell, AC/DC Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. 3 albums, 1 band. Every single song on those three albums are great. Judas Priest, British Steel, Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast. Every single song, fantastic, right? Scorpions, Blackout. There's something around that time period, the early 80s, where they had a bunch of songs that was just, or a bunch of albums that were just really, really good. And this is one of them. Wasp came out with this. Queensryche, Operation Mindcrime. Every single song, fantastic. Wasp's debut album. Every single song on there is a gem. And they range everywhere from hard rocking songs to ballads. And the song that we're going to do today is a ballad, and it's called Sleeping in the Fire. And decided to do a live version of it. And this is live from 1984, so this is right at the peak of when they first started. This is when their album came out in '84, and this is September of '84. So I don't know exactly what month the album came out, but they hadn't been out that long. And this was filmed in London, England, so they were already a big number if they were getting this kind of crowd and this kind of reaction in London in 1984. If it was LA, I would understand it because they're an LA band. They originated in LA. They played all the clubs out in LA, and everybody knows them out there, so, or knew them out there. And this was before Poison. Um. So yeah. Anyway, uh, I wanted to be Blackie Lawless. I thought Blackie Lawless was like the coolest dude ever. And I wanted to be Blackie Lawless, and I wanted to be in a band just like Wasp when I was a kid. And they had a song called "Blind in Texas." And I had to go get drunk in Texas just because of that song. That's why I moved to Texas. Anyway, so yeah, I could sing every. I know all the songs by heart off this album. So if you see me mouthing the lyrics, it's because I know them by heart. And I may have to mute my microphone so you don't have to listen to me singing over top of Blackie Lawless. And Blackie's got a very interesting voice. Some people don't like his voice. Some people think it's just harsh. It's just rough, right? And it's scratchy and squeaky, but I don't think so. I think he's got an amazing voice for the kind of music that he does, for this kind of metal music. It's just perfect. Um, yeah, and if you've never heard him before, this will be a good introduction. So let's check him out. This is Blackie Lawless and some of the other guys. Randy Piper was a guitar player. Blackie played on the first album. Blackie played bass. He switched to playing rhythm guitar later, but in this album he played bass. Randy Piper played rhythm guitar. Chris Holmes played lead guitar, and Chris Holmes was either boyfriend or living with or married to someone famous, female rocker, Lita Ford. I think he was either Lita Ford or Wendy O. Williams. I think it was Lita Ford. Don't quote me on that. That's why you have Google and Wikipedia. Go look it up. All this shit's from the top of my head, so it could be the dead brain cells. Speaking of dead brain cells, let's kill a few more. Because we're gonna watch Wasp. Sleeping in the fire. All right, here we go. Sleeping in the fire. I keep looking up here because I see myself and I go, why am I seeing myself? I'm supposed to be watching the video. Okay, here we go. Oh, you can't see shit. I mean, you can't see anything. Why not? Oh, because it's so weird. There we go. Now you can see, this is like me. I was a young person. Except I wasn't in England. I was a young person listening to Wasp going, oh my god. Oh my god. He said breast in a song. They have a song called F-U-C-K, like an animal. I fuck like a beast. Right? Okay, this is not fuck like a beast. This is sleeping in the fire. Live. Live. It's alive. It's alive. Not a great video. It's old. It's SD and it's pretty crappy condition, but the music sounds alright. You can hear it. If I shut up, you can hear it. I think that's Randy playing the opening. Okay, I'll stop with the cheesy sign language. Sleeping in the fire. I don't know sign language. All right. The lyrics so far are great, right? Touch. Look. And a whole bunch of other words. Hang on, I just realized this audio is really, really low, so I'm going to crank up to see if this helps. So if it suddenly gets louder on you, you'll know why. All right, so let's go. I'm going to see if it gets louder. It's louder for me. I don't know about louder for you. All right, I'm gonna back up. The reason I'm sitting here with my mouth hanging open is because I thought Chris Holmes was the lead guitar player for Wasp, not Randy Piper. I thought Randy Piper was the rhythm guitar player, but that whole lead, which sounds like a lot of the leads on the other songs in this album, that was Randy playing the lead. So I'm wrong. I've been wrong all these years. I thought Chris was the lead guitar player. Wow. Okay. Hmm. Okay, we'll rewind. Oh, now it's Chris Planley. Oh well, I was sitting here. You guys weren't watching. You were watching me. Sorry. I was watching the video. I didn't know you guys weren't watching it. I thought I had the video on. When did it turn off? When did I turn that off? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should do this over again. I would, but I'm too lazy. All right. Well, so far it's been really good. I love the guitar playing is amazing. So I didn't know there was two guitar players doing solos. I thought it was just one dude. But okay, that's cool. They went back and forth like that. Awesome. Uh, okay. Yes. Oh, okay. So you were watching it. Some reason, spacebar turned that off instead of unpausing my video. See, spacebar, 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 spacebar. That's why I had to go. Why do I have to go over here and click? I thought the spacebar did that. Blackie, cover that boob up. Nobody wants to see your man boob. See, it looks like Kiss, right? Looks like Gene Simmons on Kiss, right? So look at Blackie Lawless, the way he plays on stage, his stage persona, right? Look at the boots. Look at the way he looks. Just give him wings, like bat wings underneath here if it connects here. And who does he look like? Or who looks like him? Maybe. According to Blackie, it's someone's borrowed his image. Whereas, he's got a pretty big ego. They both do, right? He's the drummer. Drummers are often unsung heroes, right? Let's go. I'm going to pull up Wikipedia, see what they have to say about Wasp. Wasp. W.A.S.P. Not the bug. I don't care about the bug. I care about the band. There it is. Oh, can you read that? If you can read that, you're a better person than me. Okay, I don't have my glasses on, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Which one should I read? That one's a little bit bigger. This one's closer. Yep. Okay, we're screwed. Wasp is an American heavy metal band formed in 1982. They emerged from the early 1980s Los Angeles heavy metal scene. The band's popularity peaked that decade, yet they continue to record and tour, making them one of the most enduring of the West Coast heavy metal bands. Wasp gained notoriety for their shock rock themed image, lyrics, and live performances. They are estimated to have sold over 12 million records worldwide, with their first two albums, Wasp in 1984 and The Last Command in 1985, being certified as gold by the RIAA. Yeah, Last Command's the one that has Blind in Texas on it. Wasp and Wild Child. Wasp was a prominent target in the mid-1980s of the Parents Music Resource Center, an organization that pushed for warning labels on recorded music. The band immortalized its fight with the PMRC on the song Harder, Faster from their 1987 live album, Live in the Raw. Their most well-known songs include Animal, Like a Beast, I Want to Be Somebody, LOVE Machine, Wild Child, Aligned in Texas, Forever Free, that's a good song. The Headless Children, that's a good song. Chainsaw Charlie, okay, Murders in the New Morgue, and The Idol, which is from Crimson Idol. As well as their cover versions of Ray Charles' I Don't Need No Doctor. That's a really good version. That's a good song, too. I Don't Need No Doctor. And The Who's, The Real Me. Oh, yeah, Wasp's version of The Real Me is excellent. We should check that out sometime. Band's most recent album, Golgotha, was released in 2015, and they have reportedly been working on new material. I should play Golgotha. I think you'll like that. It's a great song. Especially if you're Christian. If you're Christian, it's something make you cry. Early years and rise to fame. Wasp began following the demise of Circus Circus, a Los Angeles-based band featuring Blackie Lawless and Randy Piper. The original lineup of Wasp was formed in Los Angeles, California in 1982 by Lawless, Piper, Rick Fox, and Tony Richards. The band became notorious for its raunchy and at times shocking live shows. Lawless was known to tie semi-naked models to a torture rack and to also hurl raw meat into the audience. Yeah, that's right. They used to throw like steaks and stuff at people in the audience. The band's debut single, entitled Animal, Fuck Like a Beast, and its cover were equally controversial. Yeah, the cover of that was like a 45 mini CD cover. The first lineup did not last for long. Rick Fox was let go and went on to join the band Steeler, that's right, with vocalist Ron Keel and guitarist Yngwie Malmsteen. He was replaced by Don Costa, the bassist in Richard's former band Dante Fox, which later evolved into Great White. Shortly afterward, Costa also left the band, and his position on the bass was filled by Braden Parker. At the same time, guitarist Chris Holmes joined the band. Wasp signed to Capitol Records for their debut album, Wasp, released on August 17th. So that was September. That was only the next month, right? It was released August 17th, 1984. The debut was at one time planned for release with the title Winged Assassins. The band's first single, Animal, Look Like a Beast, was omitted from the album in the United States. That's right. To prevent it from being banned from major chain stores. Wasp was accompanied by the band's first world tour, performing with numerous bands such as Kiss, Iron Maiden, Metallica, Dokken, Crocus, Helix, Quiet Riot, and Armored Saint. I think I saw them with Crocus. I remember that. Maybe it was Armored Saint. Shortly afterwards, the band made an appearance in the 1984 film The Dungeon Master. Is that what the film it was? It was Dungeon Master? Really? That's a very obscure movie. I thought the scene I'm thinking of. Really? Are you sure? I thought it was Body Double. Um, in the 1984 film The Dungeon Master, and on the soundtrack to Ghost Warrior with the song Tormentor. Love Machine and I Want to Be Somebody helped the album sell and set the band up for Blind in Texas, a song written in St. Paul, Minnesota by Blackie Lawless. The song was released on the next album, The Last Command, in September 1985. The Last Command remains Wasp's highest charting album, peaking at number 47 on the Billboard album chart. Blind in Texas is perhaps their best-known song, more than 3 decades after its release. The Last Command was also the first album with the new drummer, Steve Riley, formerly of Keel. They had a lot of relations with Keel, who had replaced Richards at the beginning of the 1984-85 tour. Wasp supported the album by participating in 2 arena tours, first opening for Kiss on their Asylum tour, and then along with Anthrax, they supported Black Sabbath on the Seventh Star tour. After the Last Command tour, Piper departed the band. Former King Cobra bassist, I remember King Cobra, Johnny Rod, oh, that's right. Yeah, Johnny Rod was joined Wasp as Lawless went back to playing rhythm guitar. So they didn't talk about this, but they said some other guys playing bass, but it was actually Blackie who played bass on the first couple albums. And then when Johnny Rod joined, he went back to playing rhythm guitar. Around that time, Wasp became a very prominent target of the PMRC, an organization led by Tipper Gore, Al Gore's wife, and dedicated to opposing music with lyrics deemed violent or overtly sexual in content. This lowered the band's reputation to such a degree that concert halls were getting bomb threats. Band members were receiving death threats by the hundreds, and Lawless was shot at twice, though not hit. Controversy generated valuable publicity for the band. Mainstream success in 1986 to 1989, with the lineup changes made the record their album titled Inside the Electric Circus. Yeah, I remember that. It was released in October of 1986, and a year-long world tour in support of the album followed, including supporting Iron Maiden on their Somewhere in Time tour in Europe, and a headlining North American tour with Slayer, Raven, and Saxon. I think I saw that. I don't remember. Those years are kind of a blur. Inside the Electric Circus received a mixed reaction from the music press. It was considered a bit... What does that say? Oh, it was considered a big hit with Wasp fans, while critics, on the other hand, dismissed it as seventh grader rock. Songs like Shoot from the Hip and the minor hit single 9-5 Nasty helped the band live up to the reputation of one of the possible meanings of their band name. We are sexual perverts. However, Blackie Lawless, himself known to be a harsh critic of his own work, cited the album's re-release liner notes that Inside the Electric Circus was a tired record by a tired band. Ultimately, it was an unfavorable critic review of the single 9-5 Nasty that convinced Lawless to take some time off and reconsider the band's creative direction. In 1987, Wasp had their song Scream Until You Like It included in the soundtrack to the movie Ghoulies 2. Same year, a few dates during the Inside the Electric Circus tour were recorded on November 27, 1987. The Long Beach Arena concert was released as the Live in the Raw album. By this time, Riley had left Wasp to join LA Guns and was replaced by local drummer Chad Nelson. 18-year-old Glenn Soldering, who had recorded an album in 1983 with the band Pandemonium, then joined the band but did not play any shows due to Holmes's illness. Soldering left during rehearsals and were replaced by Kelly Martella for their Donington appearance and a Top of the Pops performance of Scream Until You Like It on BBC. Martella went on to join the band Silent Rage. In 1988, Soldering later surfaced under the name Trip Holland in the band Engines of Aggression. Really? Am I boring people to death? I'm boring myself. With former Tomorrow Childs members Rick Schaefer and Craig Dollinger, and is currently making music for TV shows as staff writer with Supersonic Noise. That's a great way to end your career. Okay, and then Chris Holmes left, and they went on, and then Chris Holmes came back, and then they did a bunch more stuff. Then Golgotha, 25th anniversary of the Crimson Idol, the next album, 2015, a band name meaning. Okay, there we go. Let's talk about the band name meaning. There's been much speculation over the origin of the band's name and whether it actually stands for anything, since it is written as an acronym, W.A.S.P. One possible interpretation is White Anglo-Saxon Protestant, being the original meaning of the acronym. The song Show No Mercy, the B-side of the band's first single, Animal, contains the repeated lyric, White Anglo-Saxon, a violent reaction. The original US release of the band's album, Wasp, had the words, "We are sexual perverts," inscribed on both sides around the label in the center, while Winged Assassins is inscribed on the spine of the first vinyl pressing. When asked about the band's name, Lawless has avoided giving a single answer. In one interview, he answered, "What does WASP stand for?" And Blackie said, "We ain't sure, pal." Get it? We ain't sure, pal. W.A.S.P. In a February 2010 interview, Lawless stated the main reason for the name was the periods. He claimed no band had ever used them before, although REM formed 2 years earlier. And in essence, the periods created a question mark of uncertainty to make Wasp stand out more. He then went on to say, "Look where we are." It did. In an interview published on YouTube in 2020, former bassist Rick Fox explained the name came about after an incident outside Lawless's home in which Fox happened across a hornet and tried to kill it before it could sting him. The sight of the insect's throbbing stinger brought to mind the image of the Green Hornet logo. According to Fox, this happened while the band was still under the moniker of Sister, and Lawless was looking for a new name. When Fox explained what happened to Lawless, the band leader liked the idea and ultimately adopted it. Fox's story has been corroborated by former guitarist Randy Piper, who, while agreeing with him, did acknowledge Lawless as being the one who came up with the idea of the band's name being written as an acronym. Anyway, somebody said it stands for We Are Satan's Prophets? Perverts? We are satanic plebes? I don't know. Somebody said it's something about that, but I don't know. That's all shtick anyway, right? Doesn't mean doo-doo. Anyway, so that's Wasp, and this was Sleeping in the Fire. We're going to do some more Wasp over time when I have time. There's a bunch of songs from Wasp that I really want to share with you guys and react to for you. But anyway, that was like I said, one of the greatest rock ballads of the 80s, Sleeping in the Fire, and I sing it all the time in the shower. I'm practicing my sword fighting. It's a great song to practice your sword fighting, right? Taste the love, the Lucifer's magic that makes you numb, right? The passion and all the pain of one. You're sleeping in the fire, right? That's the words. Taste the love, the Lucifer's magic that makes you numb. Forget what it does when you're drunk on love. You're sleeping in the fire. All right, I'm going to go eat because I have like really bad case of munchies right now. Make sure you like and subscribe this video. Okay, don't subscribe to the video, subscribe to my channel. Like the video. And if you really want to keep track of what's going on in my life and know when I put something out, so it will come to you and say, "Hey, psst, hey, did you know the Ancient Metaler just posted a new video? You should drop what you're doing and come check it out." If you want to receive those kind of notices, then ring the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my spectacular and epically funny, heartwarming, and thought-provoking reactions and other content. Like, I don't know what else. Oh yeah, I do meditation videos. Check out some of my meditation videos. I'll do more of them. I watched some other stuff. So I got a few things I want to get done tonight. I got a couple more videos that I'm probably going to react to today. Done several so far, so make sure you, if you're falling behind, that's why you need the notification bell, so you don't fall behind. You got to catch up. Leave me comments. Let me know what you think. If you have other songs you want me to react to, if you saw Wasp before, you liked Wasp, or you hated Wasp, just tell me in the comments. I won't be offended. You could say, hey, Ancient Metaler, you suck. I won't be offended, because I probably do. You know, it's okay. It's okay to be bad. Right? Perfection is an overrated thing. I'm far from perfect, and I make a lot of mistakes, and that's okay. So this is my way of doing things. It's not everybody's way of doing things. This is me just being me, just blathering on live as if I had a live stream 24/7. That would be horrendously boring. Okay, so we're not going to do that. But this is as close as you can get to being in my life. Is that I make these videos throughout the day, and it's just me talking to you guys, and then I post it. I don't do any editing. I don't do any cleaning up. I don't make any changes. If I screw up, I screw up. If I like, I have one video today where I forgot to turn my mic back on because I made the comment. I'm going to mute my mic because I was probably going to sing or something. I don't know what it was. I said, I'm going to mute my mic. And if I forget and you see me doing this and no sound is coming out, it's because I forgot to unmute my mic. And what happened? The next time I tried to talk, I was talking and going for a couple minutes, right? And then I realized, oh, yeah, the little meter thing, it's not doing anything. So I think my mic's mute. Oh, yeah, it's muted. And then I turned it back on and it's like, oh, hello. Sorry. And I left it in. I could have gone to Adobe Premiere and cut that out, or I could have redone the video, but warts and all, you get to hear everything I say the way I said it. And aren't you so lucky? Oh my God, you're so lucky. Do you feel blessed? Do you feel blessed? You should feel blessed. You should feel blessed that you get to participate in the epic spectacle that is the Ancient Metaler. And buy a mug or a t-shirt or whatever. As I've said in a couple of the other videos, all the proceeds from my merchandise is going to Relay for Life. So I don't know how much I make on a mug. I think I make like $2, $3, something like that. 100% of that is going to Relay for Life. Whatever I get on the t-shirts, the hoodies, the tank tops, whatever you guys buy, if you buy, it's all going to Relay for Life. Or I can't say all of it because Bonfire, which is a company that sponsors my store, they take 90-something% of the money, and I get a little bit on top. So the little bit that's on top is going to Relay for Life. So, and it will be gone and donated in, I think, in the name of Ancient Metaler. I think that's what it's going to show up as. So anyway, let's see what we can do to help end cancer in our lifetime, so that those who come after us don't have to suffer like those who've come before us. Anyway, peace out, dude. I need to come up with some better catchphrases. I got to work on that. Note to self. Need a catchphrase. How about this? I got one. Bye.